Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Blake, aka PoshBossBlake on Instagram, Poshmark, and of course YouTube. Feel free to give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe if you haven't already, or you want to tell me you like this content and I'll keep giving it to ya. So, this weekend, October 4th and 5th in Arizona, Phoenix, it was hot, but also there was PoshFest 2019. You guys, it was incredible. Dear Poshmark, you exceeded my expectations, and they were like decently high, and you hit them and exceeded them, and if I don't think I could have like set the expectation to experience what I did, so I'll get into that deeper as the video goes on. But it was incredible, and I just want to say thank you, because that is it's a lot of work to put that together, so thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. I know a lot of people who attended clearly appreciate that as well. So we were presented on check-in day, registration day. You got a swag bag, and in that swag bag had the program along with their app that they built for PoshFest, which was really nice to have in one place. I think next year there were a couple kinks in relation to where things were, like if a panel was happening, the correct room number wasn't necessarily there. So you had to reference the paper and vice versa potentially. But listen, everything can always use improvement, like not just PoshFest, like things in the world. So they did an incredible job, and that was the only thing that like didn't work some of the time. So, you know, in general, great job. Thank you for creating that app, by the way. Like, I had everything. I had the address for the convention center for your Ubers. It said where we're going to be for the after party. It had everything schedule-wise. You could add it to your overall schedule. Like, it was great. So thank you for making that. But let's, I guess, just start day one. They had different floors in the convention center. It was giant. And on the top floor, the third floor, that's where the main stage was, where they did the panels for everyone in a Posh attendance to be at, and that's where breakfast and lunch happened. So it was nice because you could go, be social, eat your breakfast, meet, greet, schmooze, and then, you know, you're sitting down at these tables ready to go, and you listen to the panels. That's when everything starts. So the panels get introduced. We get like, welcome to PoshFest. Woo, we are excited. And the panels start. Okay, I don't have a lot of negative things to say, except for this panel, the morning of panels before the CEO's State of the Union address. Sorry, I just blanked. Unfortunately, we're no, I won't say underwhelming, lacking energy. The moderators, and I don't know if it was just because it was the first one and people were nervous, but the quality of what people were saying were great. The energy was not there, and unfortunately that like was not a great way to like start off the day. I was feeling a little like, hope this picks up, because it was kind of just, it lacked energy, and I'm an energetic person, so much so I can't even speak. And you know, people appreciate that about me, which people who I got to meet and, you know, meet and greet, people commented on my energy. And for me, this is just me, so okay, I have energy. But, you know, people were like, you have great energy. So while this was happening, I was like, I would like to just like jump on stage and kind of like bring up the energy, so that we can liven the crowd on day one, first thing of PoshFest. But aside from that, everything started to pick up at the State of the Union address. There was a little flub with the technology, but whatever, we moved on. It was great. There was a lot of inspiration. The CEO, we got so much time with him, and one of his statements that he made was, you know, who's strange, right? And like, who feels strange? And I was like, I'm gonna use strange for like unique, but I was like, I feel strange. I am a strange person, and you know, almost everyone in the room like raised their hand, and it just like kind of connected us, because we are in this one place bonding over this one thing, but like so much more. Like, you know, everyone has their stuff. You know, you have your dramas, your ups and downs, your family losses, your family gains, babies being born, relationships starting, ending. But for this moment in time, we are all bonded by Poshmark, which is literally why we are at PoshFest. That said, it was really uplifting speech. He talked about being able to, in the future, kind of like be ahead of where clothing and fashion is going to be. And Poshmark currently is doing that with the recycling and the reducing and the reusing of clothes, because fashion is one of the top wastes of the world. So Poshmark being able to get ahead of that and kind of spur a larger movement of recycling and repurposing and encouraging people to reuse worn clothing, lightly worn, gently worn, heavily worn, and just get them in that habit. Poshmark has done an incredible job. There's been so much growth. I'm not going to put exact numbers because I don't, that was in the presentation and I don't want to report incorrect numbers, but I will say that their sales, our sales as a community, have like grown exponentially since their start, and it's mind-boggling, and it's only going to continue to grow. We grow together, so it was just really good. It was really good to hear that, and yeah, so that was that. And then we had lunch, which was nice, and then the breakouts started. So the breakouts are where you could go to different panels and learn a little bit about like more niche things. So did you want to learn about social media, maybe how to grow your following, best practices? That's one panel. How to better your inventory process, that's another panel, etc. So I ended up going into how to break into the booming world of YouTube. Here I am. And I really learned a bunch of valuable things. There was, I believe his name was Matt McMahon from Google/YouTube. He's a video manager, and what better way or place to learn how to grow your YouTube following with the person that is behind it. So I learned so much invaluable information, and hopefully as time goes on and we enter 2020, my videos continue to perform better and grow, and we can grow together. And oh my gosh, I got so excited. It was a really informative panel. They answered a lot of questions, gave us really great insights, so that was good. The next one I went to was building your personal brand. Was it that one? No, I can't remember what the one. Oh no, I went to an executive team panel with Steve Fashion Guru, aka Steven. So go follow him. He's like super great. Lives in Seattle. He's friends with Denali, aka El Ducho. And if you don't know her, follow her as well. She's incredible. But we went to this panel with the executive members of certain aspects of the executives of Poshmark. And that was like I don't know if that needed to happen. The one I went to was with a particular lawyer person or a former lawyer, and a couple other random occupations. I don't know. The conversations like that particular moment kind of drifted, and I'm here to learn to grow my business. I don't think that panel was necessary. I don't know who the other executives were on the two other panels because it happened 3 times total. So that was kind of a bummer, but live and learn, and I didn't learn in that particular panel, so next time I will know to maybe skip that one. But overall, I appreciate what they were saying. I just didn't find it applicable for wanting to grow my business. That said, next up, after the breakouts, we're back to the main stage, and we learned about data, which was incredible. We also, before that, actually, we came back and it was Posh Stories, and it was people with incredible stories. And Flip Journey, hey girl, she opened up about, her struggles with her family and her son, whom, by the way, is doing great. And they're LA, so they're local to me. And I just thought it was very brave. It was a very emotional moment. Posh Stories can be, you know, beautiful. It's all beautiful. Everyone's got their things going on in life that bond us, like I said earlier. But Flip Journey is really connected to me because I couldn't imagine experiencing what she experienced, and I reached out to her privately and I was like, I'm so happy that your son is better, and you know, we're on the up from here, and it takes a lot of courage to put that out there, so thank you, because you didn't have to. So that was Posh Stories. Then we learned about data. So this is where we learned about how people perform and not perform, how data plays a role into, you know, Poshmark growth and like your sales and your closet, and, you know, making sure that you have the brand in the title. To me, that was assumed, but I guess there's people that don't even think about that. So just remembering and really honing in and giving tips to create a rich listing full of great keywords, descriptions, etc. for your product so that it can get sold in a timely manner. So that was a really great data moment. And then what happened? And then Posh Markets, they talked about expanding the Posh Markets. We've got the sneaks, we've got watches, we've got like home, we've got all sorts of things. Separate from categories, I just want to like call out for a hot second. Posh Markets and Posh categories are different. There can be overlap, but a category is one of the main filters. So men, women, kids, home. Those are the main categories. Markets are where, I guess really ultimately, a buyer can go look at inventory that is just for that market. So if I'm like trying to buy some sneakers because I'm a sneaker geek or sneakerhead, whatever that's called, I can just select the sneaker market to just be seeing sneaker things. So that was cool, and more on that in a potentially future video. I have more to say on markets, but real quick, I'll just say I would like a new category. I don't want the categories to get extensive, because that's what's actually really beautiful about the simplicity of Poshmark. You can't get it too jumbled, but I will say I would like, I think, a vintage category that would cover home and clothing and items, just so that it can kind of live in its own thing. So that way, if you're looking for something vintage, you can, by category, look at everything vintage, you know? So it's not mixed in with all your other modern day items. I digress. So that was really great. And it was phenomenal. Day 2 started with a great start to the day. Day 2 overall was better. It was better energy. Like everything was just like great. The energy from the panels were phenomenal on the main stage. What else? The hackathon. Ooh, okay. This is where we'll talk. Okay, the hackathon. If you don't know, Poshmark has a point in the year before PoshFest where they tell everybody in the Posh public. Ooh, I coined that term, Posh public. Hey guys, you know, like what are some features you're wanting in the app? Like what do you want to improve? Do you want a new category? Do you want a different feature? You know, now's your time to speak up, and we're gonna like see what changes are realistic and what we can work on. So some of the reveals that got told to us are for those who have a lot of inventory or those who want to better track their inventory. You're going to be able to, when you list, right, when you're in your Poshmark, if you're a seller, you're in your Poshmark app, you're going to be able to see all your normal categories, right, and, you know, enter original price, sale price, you know, but underneath that, right underneath where you enter the price, there's going to be an additional section, oh my god, this is huge, where you can enter a SKU or a bin number or an inventory tracker so that you can reference when the sale happens what bin to go to, what box to get from, you know, something like that. Now I know what you're thinking if you have not discussed this with other people, like how am I gonna go back into that listing? You can't edit a sold listing, so like how am I gonna get to the inventory number? Well, in the hackathon panel that I went to, the breakout panel later on in the day, someone came up with a phenomenal idea, which was really well received, to put that in the email that you get when the sale is confirmed. Someone originally said, hey, can you put the inventory number on the shipping label? Fun fact, there are limits from the law and USPS on how much you can put on a shipping label, so that can't happen. But it can happen in the email that you get when the sale is confirmed. So say, I have this beautiful textured fabric notebook. This sells to Jane Doe in, wherever, but I get that email that says, hey Blake, you sold this notebook for $150,000 and you're rich now. Here's your shipping label, but also here's the price it sold, here's the fee, and here's your inventory number. How genius would that be? So very excited to get that feature. I don't have that much inventory, but you never know what can happen at a good bins day, right? Am I right? So next is the Posh Stories aspect. And I actually got featured about this on the Poshmark actual Instagram story. I did a little mini takeover for them. And the stories aspect is really incredible. There have to be some kinks that are worked out, but okay, stories. You're going to be able to pretty much make like an Instagram story. Sorry that I'm comparing that, but it's the easiest reference because it's very similar. You're going to be able to like make a story on Poshmark, right? And you're going to be able, like say I was wearing like a jacket and a t-shirt, right? Say I'm selling this blazer, right? And I just, as my sale image, I want to be like, oh, look at this blazer. You can have it. I'm going to be able to tag the blazer. So you click on my cute little picture in Posh Stories and it'll take you to my closet, to that item to buy it or to check it out in further depth. So that is very exciting. I did speak up at the breakout panel, and ask if it's possible, instead of having to like multiple post, because that's the problem. Like I don't mind cross advertising my social media of it all, like, hey guys, I just got this, check it out. But now that there's going to be this like extra step of Posh Stories, is it possible to post on Posh Stories, tag my items, and it also posts with Instagram if I choose to, like you can now with like a Twitter. I think you can link your Twitter, your Facebook, your Pinterest. Can that feature be the same? No is the immediate answer, because Instagram has rules and their business needs to be conducted on that platform. So you can't, it would have to come off of Poshmark. You know what I'm saying? Like that transaction wouldn't do that. So in my mind, I don't know if it's possible, but if you can cross post to Instagram, tap the product, and it takes me back to the Poshmark closet, I would love that. I just don't want to like multiple post like again. So again, kinks, have to see how it's going to work out. But also like the major number one thing that I didn't even initially think about, people on Poshmark, like the following of each other is great and it's encouraged, and like that's, building visibility of your closet in addition to sharing. But if some people like literally almost have 1 million followers, how is that person going to benefit from Posh Stories when they have 1 million people posting a Posh Story? Like, how is that even going to be possible? Can we favorite? Can we save someone? Or like, can we make like a top like list? So, I can see my friends' closets or people that I shop more frequently. Can I see those? It's going to be very interesting because I want everyone to have stories and like have that capability, but I don't know how they're going to work that out, because that is a very valid question. I have 47,000 followers. Listen, I'm not looking through any of that. I'm just not even going to waste my time. So how are we going to do that? Like, because the goal is not to be Instagram. Like, it's not to be social in that way. It is to interact more with, your fellow poshers and things. But the goal is to sell the item. It's not to post a picture just to post a picture. So it'll be interesting how that plays out in the next couple weeks and months. So great hackathon situations, and it's going to be major once that all the kinks get worked out for that. So great. Okay, next up, I did go to the I did go to the, what was it? oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. How to, content strategies, how to build your brand through storytelling on Instagram. And oh my gosh, Heidi and Jen were a part of it. Heidi, aka the Noble Hanger, and Jen, British Posher, fellow A gal, fellow LA gal. Sorry, Jen. It was a really informative panel. I went because I wanted to see Jen, but also like hear her perspective on Instagram, because even though we're in LA, her Instagram is very well curated and has an aesthetic and a vibe that is really working. So I wanted to like see what she had to say, and something that I learned, I'm not going to give away all the things because, here I am. I spent my time at that panel. But one of the things was a simple switch to a business profile so I could see analytics on like when people are most likely to see things. I know that sounds simple, but I just didn't think of myself as a business on Instagram because like I work for a business, I work for a PR company that has its own Instagram. So like in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, that is a business profile. But the analytics, Heidi also said this, the analytics are really there. So I instantly switched after I left that panel, and it takes a little bit to set in. I can't comment on the analytics right now, but those are going to start to come in the more I post. So it'll be very interesting to tailor time of day, etc. when I can post. Also, keeping content kind of short, unlike this video, because I have a lot to say and explain, keeping things more concise and trying to post more on IGTV specifically to engage more and get more visibility. People's attention spans are dying down, and thanks for staying with me. Yeah, it was really good, and I appreciate Jen and Heidi for that panel. I can't remember what day, and this is screwing up my mind. There was a panel with Nicole State on it, and it was really... Oh, it was the YouTube one. I'm so sorry. It was really informative. Like, the biggest takeaway from the entire weekend, but really what Nicole and team, I think it was Amanda and Matt from Google, had said what... Amanda Weiss, by the way. Hi, girl. Be authentic. Like, literally be authentic. Do not try. This is why people aren't successful on YouTube, or like, why isn't it working? Don't go on YouTube trying to be Nicole State. Don't go on YouTube trying to be Shane Johnson, Jeffree Star. Go on YouTube as yourself. Like, literally whatever that is. And Nicole said, like, listen, I roll out of bed sometimes, and that's what I look like. That's what you're getting. Like, that's my real life. And it's so simple, but it's like, do you wear jeans and a bikini top all day? Like, okay, then film in jeans and a bikini top. Do you wear suits, fully suited? Like, do you look like the Colonel from KFC? Get your camera out and show us that Colonel outfit. Like, I actually am referencing day 2. We went out for dinner with Sell Quick, Ship Quick. Hey guys, go follow them. They're great. We saw a guy dressed in incredible menswear, and he looked like the Colonel. So that was that example, and he was so dapper. Like, don't hate on the Colonel. It was just like oddly out of place, but he looked phenomenal. Anyway, okay, so that said, day 2 wrapped really great. It was like so fulfilling, and got to meet so many people in between all of this. And then lastly, the party happened, and it was the Posh Party. It was phenomenal. It was great to have that final moment and meet some additional people and just really engage, and it was just great. It was great. I hate just like saying it was great over and over, but it was, and I got to have conversations with people I probably wouldn't meet because I'm not going to the town that they live in, or they live really remote, or I don't know, like, it was great, and I am so happy. Oh my god, real quick. One of my top highlights was I was invited to a Posh Man event, and there was a little drama about that, but essentially the men's market is growing, but it could be growing more. And I think the Posh Man event was really to gauge the few men who are #PoshMan and kind of like gauge how they think about the men's market. Do they sell men's clothing? What is it about men's clothing that's maybe like hindering the growth, or like, you know, everything about men on Posh. Like, how can we grow it? How can we get more, right? Because it's very heavy female. Like, I don't know statistics, they don't relay that, but like honestly it's probably like 80-90% female, maybe even like more, and compared to the men selling, right? So I had some great conversations. This event was literally with like almost every single executive member. It was incredible. Got time with the CEO, the co-founder Tracy, Adam from New Markets. It was incredible. So we got to really chat and say, like, listen, guys also shop different. This is a point that I drove home. Guys shop and wear clothes differently. A lot of men, I'm not going to say all, but a lot, shop differently. They might buy high quality, but then they will wear it and wear it down. Or they'll buy cheap stuff and again, wear it completely. So it's harder to find good items in the men's world that are going to sell well or that aren't worn and then can be resold. So I think initially the challenge is I'd sell more menswear and I would tell more people to get on there, but like people's habits are a little different. So, you know, how can we get more guys on the platform? Because there's literally room for everyone, and I think it was just very good to like kind of get different perspectives on how people view the men's market, which lots of conversations happened that night with everyone. So that was a really big highlight. Got a lot of FaceTime with the Posh peeps. Posh peeps. I'm coming up with such great terms. And it was a highlight. It ended with what did it end with? Oh, they did a giveaway of a pair of Yeezys, and I'll just say this, I didn't win them, and I'm bummed the person that did won them. So that's enough on that. And Posh Party was great. It was phenomenal. Got to, again, have so much fun. This video is too long. I'm gonna make it under 28 minutes. I'm so sorry. But I had a lot to say, and I hope you enjoyed it. Will I be back next year? I really hope so. I loved it. I want to be there in a different capacity next year, so stay tuned. And I am really going to work on the rest of 2019 and 2020 to set some new goals and make some things happen, because based on how this went, I've got some places that I can be, that I want to be. So we shall see what the months and years unfold. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.